Welcome to Going 19, episode, what are we on? 104. I think I did, I have to look, 3 or 4. It's not 3, it's 4 or 5. I think it's 105. So,
I'm not gonna lie, I did not realize we were in the hundreds now.
oh yeah, the last time. Yeah, we hit 100, well, about 5 episodes ago. I
I
think,
think you did say something and I just completely forgot.
yeah, I think we hit it while we were on break, and I put like 8 episodes in a row up while we were not doing anything. I think it was one of them, or it was one of the first ones when we came back. Because I think Insomnia might have started right around 100. That's changing everything. What?
Still exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe.
it's hard to believe it's been that long.
Maybe next 100 episodes we'll get another person that cares. I just had see Spotify is like condensing everything now, so now I had 2 separate accounts, and then they're like, no, you can't do that anymore. Now it's got to be the same account. So, and then when I moved everything over, I hadn't made the episodes yet from the last time, and they disappeared for like 20 minutes. I was freaking out. Let's see episodes, but then they came back, so it all worked out. I was like, I am not recording that again. I'll be like, fuck it. It's not loading on this tablet, of course.
You're trying to see what episode number we're on?
Yeah, I think it got stuck. Yeah, I was trying to see where we hit 100, what episode that was, if that was Insomnia, or before we came back, or oh, there we go. 100 was on February 7th. That was the second Insomnia.
Oh.
So, and we're on. Why does 104 say draft? Better check that. I thought that was published. So 103 went on Friday. 104 is next Friday. For Fridays. So the end of Insomnia will be what, 2 weeks from Friday, assuming this is 2 episodes,
if not more. There was a lot that happened.
There's a couple things going on in this book. So, well, Allie, what do you think?
Yeah, Roland should have read the book.
Yeah, right.
Too. Especially at the end of this one, where they're like, "Oh, it was like," oh no, wait, that was on Reddit. It was like Stephen King telling himself, Stephen King's message to Roland to protect Patrick or something like that, and Roland's just like, I don't want to read that.
Right. Yeah, I didn't remember this one. Like, I remembered the whole point is that they're saving Patrick Danville, but I didn't remember it being quite so Dark Tower related. Like, I guess that it seems obvious, but like, it just seems like another Dark Tower book.
Very much, yeah.
Someone was like, this is, what did they say? I was reading some thread there. This is my favorite non-Dark Tower Stephen King book. It was like, hey, next, you have no idea what you're talking about. We can't be friends if you think that's not a Dark Tower book.
I mean, this is like the only time I've ever actually been afraid of the Crimson King. Like, that was pretty cool.
He was an actual like person doing evil stuff instead of just locked in the tower. He's much more fun that way. I gotta say, I like him.
It reminded me a little bit of Pennywise, yeah.
Yeah. I kept expecting Pennywise to pop up for some reason. Like, especially, and I know I'm way jumping here, but like when Nat hits the curb, right in front of the sewer grate at the end. I was like, and Pennywise is gonna grab her.
Oh, the ring? Or wait, when what
No,
hits the curb?
Natalie.
Oh, I don't remember that. I don't remember the sewer grate in that part. At the end?
yeah.
Yeah. I
At
remember
least
the ring.
I think maybe my mind just imagines that. I don't know, but
Either way, I
Well,
agree. It's to me, I think it's because the energy, maybe villains only have one energy in Derry, but it's very similar.
very, yeah.
well, he says things, and what is it? The ring rolls down into the sewer grate, but he said like things in Derry have a way of not disappearing forever or something like that.
Yeah, I was like, what
Yeah.
was that? Is that another story for a later time, or just he forget about that?
Well, that's what I was telling you. Like this book, there's a bunch of like Dark Tower avenues that he goes down that he doesn't kind of ever go back to.
And
Like
that's
the
what we
whole
were talking about that. And it's like, what did he get distracted with though? Because I don't even. That's why I asked you, like, what was published after Insomnia?
right, Rose Matter, Desperation, I guess.
And Wizard and Glass.
That's a little distracting.
Right,
I
that one.
haven't read Rose Matter, but it was Desperation was like a hard left turn from this. Although I guess
Well,
it's
kind of Dark Tower. Right? Yeah, isn't Kali, whatever the hell his name is, kind of a Todashi?
Yeah.
Well, you haven't read that, have you, Emma?
No, but I know what the plot is.
Yeah, and I think somebody else said that obviously Pennywise and Dandelo are from the same place. I'm like, oh, obviously.
Well, I think it says that in it, or I'm sorry, not in the Dark Tower. Like I think I wrote that down in my notes.
Does it mention Pennywise? Oh, and at some point at the end or near in the last part, he's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And then it just says deadlights in parentheses and he moves on. And I'm like, hold the fuck on. Wait a minute.
Yeah, I was like, hold on, wait, come back, explain more.
Yeah, full stop. Because
it was described as like swirling colors or something. I was like, that's not what we know as deadlights.
Well, just the fact that they're mentioned changes like so much stuff.
Yeah. Maybe it's just like all creatures.
That pretty much put Pennywise in the Dark Tower by saying that.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Does that mean that Pennywise is working for the Crimson King? Like, I don't think so.
I feel like Pennywise is working for Pennywise.
Right, exactly.
I feel like they may be equals doing separate damage. We just happen to like the Crimson Pennywise is, I don't know, Earth centric, while Crimson King's all over the place. And I keep forgetting, like he did not. I almost, I mean, I'm not gonna, but I almost want to go back and read those fucking books. Like he was not mentioned until Insomnia. That's I have trouble with that. We had 3 books with no Crimson King. So he wasn't mentioned until what? In the Dark Tower regular books till Wizard and Glass. Is that right? That's crazy.
That sounds right.
It has to be because it was all really Walter focused or Man in Black focused until Wizard and Glass when they started like John Farson.
Yeah,
what
if I put a crazy red guy in the fucking airplane and see what happens there?
I definitely enjoyed that scene of the catfish, and it was very Mrs. Kirsch reminiscent.
The kingfisher, yeah, I like the way he did that. Made him into like a big giant toothy catfish. But I like him being what's the word? Anthropomorphized, maybe? Is it? I don't even know if that's even right, but I like him like sitting in the plane and controlling Ralph, and then or not Ralph, Ed, and then Ralph showing up and be like, "What the fuck are you doing here? Get out of here!"
Yeah, that was
like I think this may be the only time that I'm thinking about it that he's not locked in the fucking tower that we've met him, that we've seen him.
Yeah, that I can think of.
Yeah, we heard.
And he
the
still
story
probably
of
is locked in
how
the tower, right? Sorry.
Well, I was just saying we heard the story of him being like in the whatever like keep castle thing and how he fled to the tower, but we never got like his perspective from that. So this is the first that we've heard of him. This is really
that would be very interesting.
It's really the first that we've even like heard him speak, other than just yelling at Roland from the tower, like
right, in a high pitched voice, throwing sneeches.
Well, and he sounded insane at that point. In this one,
right.
he's still. I mean, he still sounds insane, but he's more coherent.
It's
All right, in
creepier.
control of his insanity.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's way creepier. I love it. It's more in your face than I guess abstract like he usually is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
Comes up
present.
close.
Not a threat.
Yeah, if you think about it, it's much like what? Why did he even put him in the tower? Like Walter was the bad guy. He could have just kept being a bad guy. He got replaced by the super devil.
Yeah,
Because
I think maybe this is before he met Robin, and he had just too many ideas going crazy.
yeah, right. There was nobody reeling him in. He was just out there willy nilly writing everything. Maybe, and I think that's definitely what happened in this book. He just went down some roads and then just forgot to care about them again.
Somebody should tell him to like read it, and then maybe there'll be a new book.
I think that's Rob's job, right? Fill in the holes. Like, let's do some graphic novels, and we'll cover Jericho Hill and all the other stuff there. I haven't gotten to that one yet. Yeah, a lot of people say how slow this book is. Like, I mean,
it is.
It is.
Parts.
I don't know. I didn't see it as slow because it's so relatable. Just like him not sleeping. Who can't relate to that? I didn't see it as slow. I was sitting there in the chair with him, staring out the window. I did that this morning when I went to work because it was raining and nobody turned the lights on in the office. So I didn't turn them on and I sat there in the dark and watched the rain in the window.
Yeah. That sounds like a 90s music video.
Right. I just broke up with my girlfriend or something. But so I mean I don't know. Maybe I'm not the best judge, but I didn't see it as slow. It's a slow build, I would say, but the pace of the book, it didn't bore me.
No, yeah, I don't think it's boring. It's just there's not a lot that happens, and then it all kind of happens at once.
It's not always the way.
Yeah.
Like he spends, I was still trying to get over the fact that this guy has slept about an hour and a half a night for 6 months because like that I can't relate to. That makes me so tired just thinking about it. I don't know what to do. And then all of a sudden, so he's doing that for 6 months, and then bam, 3 days later, I think from the point when when he leaves McGovern's house and he runs into Lois till they deal with Ed in the plane is what, like 2 days, 3 days at the most. And the only reason it's that much is because they're up 3 levels for half of it, so it's going too fast.
Yeah. I would say tops is like 5 days, but even that, I think it's closer to 3. I think.
I mean, he meets Lois. I think they go home and then they go to the hospital for whatever reason. I can't even remember why. And then they
see the 2 dudes who are dying.
Is that why they went to see them? I thought.
Yeah.
Okay. So they went to see Jimmy V and Bill. Was Bill the other one? No, Bill was there visiting someone. I can't remember, the teacher or something. Oh, Bob Polhurst, Bill's guy, right? Bill's teacher.
Yes.
Okay, and then they run into the bald people while they're there, and they kind of disappear for like 3 days at that point. So yeah, that's like 3 days in the hospital, but only because it went in like 10 minutes. And they leave the hospital, they go to High Ridge. Is that right? High Ridge or Woman Care? I can't keep them apart.
Well, they go to get the address. Yeah, same difference.
Oh yeah, they get that address from. They mentally screw it out of somebody. I forget who it was. But anyway, yeah, and then they go and the place is on fire, and then they go to the Civic Center. Like it's not very long time wise.
No. And they
I
certainly
was
don't
thinking
like
about it.
stop.
Yeah.
His books are like that. I mean, I guess I think he even says that, when it happens, it all happens at once. But some of for me, it's well, we lost Amber.
Ooh.
Damn it. I don't know if I can keep that thought until she gets back. The journey is just as much fun as like when you figure out what's going on. Yay!
I'm back.
It's great at the end when you finally figure out all the stuff, but I think the journey is and he'll say that like the journey to discover what the hell's going on it's just as much fun.
Well, especially because it's a fun story, and then you find out, holy crap, there's a huge connection to the Dark Tower. Like even if it didn't have that, it's still a fun story.
Yeah. It's just that the connection to the Dark Tower like really sparks if you have read the Tower.
Right.
I remember I read these when they came out, so Patrick Danville didn't exist yet.
Oh, that's weird.
So I'm like, okay, great. Who the fuck was that, and why did I just go through all that? And you don't find out for what, another 10 years, 12 years? Holy shit! I can't believe I let him do that to me.
Gunslinger was out before this, though, right? So like you knew about Roland.
Oh yeah. The 3 books were out before this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like at the end when and like you said, Amber, any little Dark Tower Easter egg, like like when Roland turns over in his bedroll when they save Patrick, goes back to sleep. Like, oh, they mentioned Roland, yay! And all the Darius stuff is, I mean, he just can't help it.
Yeah.
He just go ahead and put Pennywise in the tower. He's like sitting there on the edge, just like waiting for the invite.
Well,
And
yeah. I mean, he came technically all things in the tower. Todash is like tower related.
Well, that's more of an educated guess, right? The Todash part.
For some reason, well, we know he's a oh, I have to look at my notes. So they're both the same kind of monster that
Not
uses
Todash.
Emotion. We've been through it before.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was called. I know what you mean. Emotional thieves, but he takes fear, and Dandelo takes joy or laughter or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. For a second, I thought you were talking about the Crimson King, and I was like, huh?
I'm not sure what sustains him.
I don't even know.
I don't think they had. Good.
Should be afraid of him. Is what I was gonna say.
I mean, I still don't understand his plan. I don't know. Bring down all of existence and rule the darkness. Are you sure that's a good idea?
Didn't he at some point? I don't know if he promised that to other people or if he truly believed that, but he thought he wouldn't be affected or something.
Yeah, I mean, who's to say he's the top guy if this happens? I feel like the darkness is going to be a free for all.
Yeah, that's a good point too.
Well, I didn't think the Crimson King thought that. I thought his follower.
Okay,
that.
Maybe that's what it was.
Well, why does the king want to bring the tower down?
Because he's insane.
Yeah.
Well, there's that.
So
His
Roland
his
king gets it?
motivation is to rule. But I thought it was the king that wanted to rule, and the tower fell and all that shit. I don't know. He just kind of he's like Johnny come lately villain type thing. So
Yeah.
I like he's a more fun bad guy. I wish there was more of him like he is in this book. He's more fun. Like Walter's, all he does is titter and make fun of people when they're not looking. Like the king was like engaging and like I could see him sitting there like making Ed do bad stuff.
And in a,
And who's the guy? So what?
I was just gonna say, and again, in a Pennywise like fashion, using his childhood trauma to shapeshift and
Oh right,
hear
the
him.
kingfisher.
I can't remember the line exactly, but he said something like things shapeshift in Derry a lot or something like that. And I was like, yeah, they sure do.
Yeah, not in a good way. Does that sound more or less on the beam to you? No, come on.
Oh yeah, so much ka and ka is a wheel and ka tet.
Yeah.
Oh, there was a lot of cows a wheel. Like, I think he was discovering that.
Strapped to the wheel of life. I'm like, okay, we get it.
The flood of '85 in Derry here killed 220 people. How many people are in Derry?
Yeah, right.
Well, I think in this book he said Derry was supposed to be like the third largest city in Maine or something.
So like 25?
Large enough to be eaten by lots of monsters.
Yeah.
More than once.
Right, that's what I mean. Oh yeah, that's true. Cyclically also for a long time.
Right. Yeah, oh well, yeah, and the different stories. So was it all worth it? I gotta tell you, I don't really like Patrick Danville. He's not. I don't like him.
Well,
I feel like a lot of people did a lot of shit for this guy.
I don't think he really
Although
had a fair shot.
no,
Yeah.
he never. I'm gonna just go ahead and say he probably had a very horrible life.
Yeah.
Started bad and did not get any better. Although I am interested to find out how the fuck he ended up with Dandelo. A lot of people said that.
It seemed
How
like
the hell did he get there?
did it seem like he had been with Dandelion for a while, or we don't know? I can't remember.
We don't know, but yeah. I mean, he had not like everything there was old.
Right.
Like his clothes and his, I don't know, piss bucket or whatever the fuck it was, water bucket or something like. I was picturing at least rusty iron, jail bars and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how long or how he went from, So he was in Derry and he ended up on Odds Lane. Where is that? Is that in Earth?
It's an end world.
End world, which is not Earth. I
No.
don't know if we ever figured that out. So maybe Dandelo and Pennywise did a swap. Pennywise was like, "Hey man, I got this kid here. Like, you might want to like keep captive for a while. He's pretty chill." And Dandelo, I don't know who he gave Pennywise.
I could also
But
see. I mean, I'm sure. Like, there's no way that Dandelo isn't meant as some kind of guard for the Crimson King or the Tower or whatever. Like the way I don't know. Maybe I guess it is. I don't know. It can't be a coincidence. So in that respect, it feels like they could easily. He at least could easily be working for the Crimson King, and somebody else could have kidnapped him and brought him there, and it was like Dandelo, keep this guy forever. I don't know. But then why not kill him? It doesn't even make sense.
well, right. So clearly Dandelo is not in league with the king, or he would have just killed him. Or they tried that before, and now they're not allowed to, or some shit. However, they worked that out. Like now he's safe forever for some fucking reason that I'm not sure of. I guess because Ralph made a deal with God, the Green Man. I don't know
Yeah, I know.
what.
The voice from above.
Yeah, let it be so, or whatever the fuck he said. Like, hold on, we gotta ask the big guy upstairs. Give me a second. Yeah, patch me through.
That part was a little odd.
I don't think he
to-
needed to like invoke some higher power than the doctors. They could have just been like, "Yes, it is allowed," and moved on. You know.
I was gonna say he
Yeah.
loves to include these very religious, like he always puts in this like godlike figure, but it's like it's not God. It's this other all powerful white being of good. And we're like, okay.
Right. Oh, it's something else that's white and benevolent in the sky. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's generational why he feels the need to even put it in there because he clearly, spends a lot of time saying that's all crap. But then damn, she dropped again. Must be windy in Leesburg. I was gonna say Lynchburg.
Maybe.
Um,
It's been kind of a crappy day weather-wise down here. So.
woo.
Hey,
Um,
someone called me and interrupted it.
Do not disturb. I had to remember to do that because it fucked my headphones up every time. Anchor's stupid. Oh, by the way, Spotify is trying to kick me off Anchor, or everybody. They don't want you recording on Anchor anymore. They're trying to push us to Riverside. So I think by the beginning of June or end of June, we're gonna have to start using Riverside.
Okay.
Hmm.
I mean,
Okay.
it just whenever I click on it, just opens a link. So
Yeah, the only thing I remember is something about the headphones, and Allie wasn't using headphones, and we were getting some feedback or something, maybe. And then we said fuck it and went back to Anchor and never tried again.
Yeah. Well, yeah, maybe because I don't use headphones. Yeah, we're getting some noise. And now I have headphones that work, so we could try again.
I mean, if you don't want to use them, I don't think you should have to. But let's maybe I'll try Riverside next time first. And we'll do a test for 10 minutes and see how that goes.
Okay.
So yeah, I just wanted to know. Anyway, I was in the middle of a rant and I forgot what it was.
we were talking.
Was the last thing you heard?
I had said,
powers that be.
yeah, I was like, if he wants to, he always loves to have his character, but refuses to call it God.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, like it could have just like the doctors could have like consulted each other secretly in their mind telepathy thing and said that they could do that. So Atrobos showed him Natalie getting hit by the car. So he said no. How did Tropos know that? Did he? That means he's planning on cutting her cord. Did he cut her cord?
I don't know exactly how that works. Like, if the cord is cut, does that mean you're gonna die either way, or is there still time?
Can you get some Gorilla Glue and put the cord back on?
Liquid Band-Aid.
See, it's all full circle. Yeah. So these guys can tell the future too, or is
Well,
he just basing that on he was gonna fuck with her?
I didn't think about that, but you're right, because that doesn't make it very random if he's planning this killing like 6 years ahead or in the future.
Well, I think he definitely is doing that to fuck with Ralph. I think he said that.
But he shouldn't be allowed to do that.
Right. I thought his whole thing was just random.
Maybe it's a planned random.
Right, purposely random. I don't really understand the wedding ring thing. Why did he do anything with the ring? He just got it out of the death bag for some reason and took it with him, and then then it kind of passes out of the story again forever,
Yeah,
right?
why did he do that? Like, what? I guess if Atropos doesn't have the ring, then he doesn't control Ed anymore. Is that what the? Oh, I don't even know.
Yeah, is this a, yeah.
Well, I was like, I kind of get it if it didn't regenerate, but like, and I know it was basically saying like, this is the only ring that matters. It doesn't matter if there is a ring in the death bag or not. But then why did it regenerate?
Yeah, is that another trick?
It was a little, it was a glamour.
Oh, that's what they're called, glamour demons.
Oh, I,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, okay, so if that was the only ring and, you know, one ring to rule them and all that crap,
You said that
I
so
think he
many
even,
times. I was like, yeah, I get it.
right, right. In case you didn't know what he was referencing, he shoved it down your throat. Uh, but yeah, then the other rings show up. You're like, okay, wait a minute. So clearly, okay, so there's a prime ring, but clearly there's like ring lackeys that can like
Well,
be placeholders.
I think that's meant to trick whoever's trying to take the actual item. But he didn't do anything with the item, so I don't understand why he took it in the first place.
How does he know he can get tricked? Yeah, you're right, because it shows itself right back together like nothing ever happened. And there's a ring in there. So how does he know he has the prime ring?
Because he can feel it, okay?
It pulsates in his yeah, right. Did they put the ring in his scar in his arm? And what exactly did they do? They just flayed him open like a fish.
Yeah, that part was
And
confusing. I did not remember that. I was like, what is happening?
and why do people
Because
go through all this cool shit? Maybe not cool, strange phenomenon in Derry, and they can never fucking remember it. What's the point?
I wonder if that's how he feels about it, like when he grew up. He was like, do none of y'all remember all this the weird stuff that happens around here?
Yeah, it may be better if we just didn't remember that nonsense. Pull him back. Yeah, I mean, I liked Ralph much more than Patrick Danville.
I don't even know Patrick.
Yeah, I don't
In
know
this
why
book.
you hate
I don't
him.
know. That guy never talks. I don't trust him.
Well, he's first of all, he's a 6-year-old or whatever, and then he's an abused and kidnapped teenager. So
I think he has his tongue cut out too, doesn't he?
yeah. Oh my god, I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's why he doesn't talk.
Like at least he still has his tongue in this book.
And he
I
does
don't.
what Roland needs him to do. So
Again, why did it's so convenient?
I know. But I always
All right. That is the end of the podcast. Everybody say goodbye.
bye.
Bye.